This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem. Bruchim Abom. We're continuing in Mishna Daf Hashavua. Today we begin Siman Ayin Hey. Lihizaher migiloi seyar v'kol isha b'shas krishma. To be careful from uncovering hair and the voice of a woman at the time of Shema. V'chein shaloi lekroisa keneged or erva. And not to say Shema opposite an erva. Says the holy Mishnah Berura. Says the Mechaber. Tefach magula be'isha b'makom shadarka lechasoisoi afilu hi ishtoi asur likrois kirishma kenegda. A tefach that is uncovered in a woman, in a place that's typically covered, even if she's your own wife. So let's say it won't necessarily elicit taiva. Asur likrois kriyashma kenegda. You cannot say Shema. Hagav yesh omrim dafka be'ishtoi. Some say that the shear of a tefach is only by one's wife. Aval be'isha acheres afilu pachas mi tefach have erva. So there is a shita that the din of tefach be'isha erva does not apply to a woman who's not your wife. The Ramos, that's the shita of the Hagois Maimoni. V'nira mi divrei harash the tefach be'isha erva afilu isha acheres. Rak sheba atzma yichel likros afal pi shehi aruma. Just for the woman herself, her own uncovered flesh is not considered giloi erva unless it's mamish. Unless it's the erva mamish. Kida el Siman ayin dal. Says the Mishna Machon Shadarka. What's the reason why a tefach megula be'isha is an erva? In other words, is it be'etzem? Is it be'etzem an erva? Or is there a reason why it's tantamount to the erva? Okay, I don't think I ever realized this before. In other words, I thought, let's say, a tefacha of a woman, let's say, b'makom shadarka lechasoisoi, it is an erva. It is inherently an erva. It is definitionally an erva. Mishnah Berura says no. He's quoting the Levush in the Pri Megadim. It's mipnei shezeh mevi la'adam midei hero kishemastakal by. Therefore, b'chlal erva hi. And it's usher to mention or to read any davar shebekdusha opposite it, kamay neged erva mamish, like opposite the erva mamish. Now, the Dirshu says, what about an erva, keneged an erva, that derech mara? What's derech mara? A mirror? Or a screen? Or a window? A mirror. Let's say an erva opposite a mirror. The Chazon Ish says you can't say Kriya Shema keneged it. Also, to look, we know that even in one's own wife, even though you're allowed to look at a makam that's normally covered, but not the makam erva mamish. So Moshe says through a mirror is also asur. What about opposite a picture of an erva? In other words, like this. Let's say you're driving through Times Square, and Tzafa and Dara and Mizrach, Marav, wherever you turn, there are illicit pictures or images. Are you allowed to say Shema, or is that like an erva? So the Chazon Ish says it's mutter. The Minchas Yitzchak says it's asur. Which is very interesting, because if it would be asur, it's not going to help to close your eyes. Okay, so it's hard to say me'ikar hadin if you close you're on a subway and there's a bad billboard. Closing your eyes would not allow you to learn, according to the Minchas Yitzchak l'chayra. According to the Chazon Ish, it would.
It could be a picture is next level. Closing eyes will help with everybody. Could be.
But there's no such get there. He doesn't say that. He says it as a din of an erva. What's the get there of? I mean, if you now to say divrei kedusha opposite, right? Let's say there's an erva opposite, a picture opposite, and I'm not looking at it. So Minchas Yitzchak says, I can't daven. Why not? Because it has a din of an erva. So then l'chayra eitzam einav wouldn't help. Right, unless you invent a new category. But, okay. And they look in the Mishnah Berura. Mishnah Berura says, "Ufi mash v'yarnu lekaman mesivva b'shem achrom deneged erva mamish asar afilu ba'otzam einav ad sheyachzer panav." If you are facing an erva mamish, it will not help unless you turn away. It's not going to help if you close your eyes. Hu adin bazeh. If you have a woman sitting in front of you whose elbows are not covered, so not only will it not help, not only are you not allowed to daven, but it's not going to help to close your eyes. In other words, you're on a subway. The lady in front of you, her elbows are uncovered. It doesn't help to close your eyes. You have to be physically turned away. V'yesh matirin bezeh emhu nizar milirois klal. Now there are those, listen carefully, who, that if you close your eyes and you won't look at all, you could say dvarim shabekdusha. Okay, this is a very important kula. Okay, the Mishnah Berura says that we paskin in Sif Vav that neged erva mamish, closing your eyes doesn't help. Mishnah Berura says neged makoy mechusa be'isha, closing your eyes doesn't help. However, there is a yesh matirim that if you mamish keep your eyes closed and you don't look at all means you're not going to open your. In other words, it's time to say Shema. And there's no way to physically contort yourself to turn in another direction. You could be mekel, provided you keep your eyes closed and do not look at all. Meaning you will not open the eye, bichlal, even one time during the Kriyashma. Now, what if, it's hard to keep your eyes closed so much, could you stop saying the Shema and open your eyes, just, not to look. What? No, I don't know.
Why?
In front of your face?
Eyes.
In front of your eyes. Just in front of your mouth, Rabbi Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld says that doesn't help. It's derech bizayon. You want to put a siddur in front of your face. Okay, l'chara, that's not different than closing your eyes. But again, provided that you don't take it down at all throughout the whole recitation of what you're saying. Okay, so if it's not possible, in other words, you're on the subway, there's no way to really turn around, you could rely on closing your eyes. Fine. Sif katan beis. In a place where it's a derech to cover it. Aval paneha, but her face, v'yadeh, and her hands, kifi aminog shederech lios megula ba'isam, according to the custom that it's uncovered in that place. V'chein beparsois regel ad hashayk. Likewise, the leg until the thigh, which is v'hu ad hamakam shenikra kni b'lashon Ashkenaz, until the knee. B'makam shedarkan leilech yachif, in a place where the minog is to go barefoot, mutter likrois kenegdai. It's mutter. In other words, let's say a woman is wearing a skirt, it's covering her knee. From the knee down, is that an erva? So, the Mishnah Berura says, in a place where the women go barefoot, you could read opposite it. Shekivan sheragal behen, since it's sort of routine for women to dress that way, Einoi Bali Dehira will not come to improper thoughts. However, uvemakam shadarkan lechasos, in a place where the derech is to cover even the leg, shiuran tefach, then the shear would be a tefach, k'may shar gufa isha, like the rest of the body of a woman, avol zroyaseh, but her upper arm, v'shoika, or her thigh, afilu regilin leich megula, even if it's customary for it not to be covered. You live in a very modern community and women don't cover their knees. It's an erva, irrespective of the provocative or immodest way that women are dressing. It would be aser. Okay, so basically, from the knee up, it doesn't matter what community you live in. It is an erva. A tefach would be an erva. Below the knee, in a place where the custom is to go barefoot, it's not an erva. Now, I'm sure, as you know, below the knee is a matter of discussion. Let's see what he brings down over here. Because we know that in most Beis Yaakovs, one of the important principles that they try to convey. One second. Of course, the battery is died. Brand. Rabbi Yeager will fill us in if I miss any details. But I think in most Beis Yaakov, traditionally, the chinuch for Yaldos Yisrael is that aside from covering the knee, from the knee down should not be bare. In other words, there should be some kind of leggings or stocking to cover that in some way, because that's minhag Yisrael, minhag b'nais Yisrael hatznuais. Now, is the Mishnah Berura requiring that over here? An honest reading would yield that it depends on the community that you live in. If you live in a more modern community and women do not cover that at all and it's bare, the Mishnah Berura does not seem to be mandating it. If you do live in a community that it's customary to have some form of covering, then it sounds like it has to be completely covered. It doesn't sound from the Mishnah Berura that there's any in-between level, that it doesn't have to be covered, but it has to have some kind of beged of tznuim. It does seem to be left up to minhag. Certainly the minhag of Beis Yaakov schools is to be machmer about this. Chazon Ish says, can a woman walk around barefoot in her own home without socks? Chazon Ish says, if there are no men around, it's mutter. Rav Shlomo Zalman says that a woman indoors, she doesn't have to wear socks. The Minchas Yitzchak says she does have to. Okay, Chazon Ish writes that it could be that the area beneath the knee is called the shoik, and it's usher to read opposite that. I will point out that doesn't seem that way from the Mishnah Berura. Mishnah Berura says beneath the knee is for sure mutter. What about for a man to say Dvarim Shabbat Keneged his wife who's not wearing socks? Rav Shlomo Zalman says if she doesn't wear socks in the house, you're allowed to do it. If she usually wears socks in the house, it's asur. Rabbi Yashiv says it's always asur. L'chayra safek d'oraisa l'chumra. So whether or not your wife wears socks or not, that's her business, or maybe it's your business also. But whether you say kiddush, you might want to say, put your feet under the table. How that's going to go over, this is not a Shalom Bayis shir right now, this is halacha shir. How to apply that, that's a different story. Okay. What about the neckline? So the Dirshu brings that the Chukei Hanashim, Sefer Chukei Hanashim, I'm not familiar with that, says that the Beis Hatzavar, I guess is the neck, does not have to be covered. Rav Shlomo Zalman says you're allowed to be lenient until the bone, if that's the minhag hamakom. How exactly to measure that? I'll leave that to the Beis Yaakov principles to mandate exactly what this area is considered. But if you live in Borough Park or you live in Williamsburg, then for a woman would be halachically obligated to cover everything beneath the knee, the entire lower leg. If you live in a different community, I guess there's room for further discussion. Okay, weiter. Sivkat and Gimel Ishtai. So in other words, a makoim shedarka lechasoisai, even beishtai it's asur likros krishma. V'lachein tzarich lizar b'shash menekes magula dadea shalodaber az shum divrei kedusha. That at the time that a woman is nursing, you have to be careful not to say divrei kedusha. Obviously, if something is somewhat uncovered, if it's not uncovered, then there's no issue. Asur likros. By the way, the question would be, what if a woman is nursing and what's uncovered is less than a tefach? L'chayr would not be a problem. Only tefach megula would be an erva. Less than a tefach would not be an erva.
How do you measure tefach? Tefach by a tefach? Or a tefach long and a kol shadu? Why?
How do you... I don't know. We'll have to look into that. Hopefully we'll see. By the way, look in the Bir Halacha. First Bir Halacha is very important. Ayin b'sefer Shulchan Shlomo shekasaf deshir zeh shayach afilu b'ktana mibas gimel ve'elach shirui l'biyah. The shir of tefach megula be'isha is even a 3-year-old. Ve'im hi bita, if it's your own daughter, hi miyud alav shana ve'elach ukilel b'siman ayin gimel ayin sham. Now this is a very important yediyah, which means like this. Your daughter has a friend. She's 4 years old. She's wearing a very short sleeve. You can't make Kiddush, according to the Bir Halacha. She's wearing a skirt. Your daughter has a 4-year-old friend over. Your niece is in the house. The skirt is, she's a baby. According to the Bir Halacha, over 3 years old, it's an erva, mida'iraisa, you can't say Kiddush. You were not Yotzei Kiddush. It's well known the Chazon Ish argued on this. The Chazon Ish said that the shear of Tefach B'Isha is only when the girl is older. How old? Old enough that she starts to have the tsura of a mature woman. What age is that? Let's see, page 20. The Chazon Ish says in Archaim Siman Tazayin Sivkat Neches that this is very important yediyah also. The whole reason Tefach Megula B'Isha, it's not be'etzem an erva. It's only an erva because we'll bring to hear her. So therefore, if a girl is so young and it's not going to create hirah, the Chachamim did not aser. What age did they aser? Reb Chaim Kanievsky says he heard from the Chazon Ish 7. However, this is regarding the Isser of saying Dvarim Shabbat but regarding Chinuch, Chazon Ish would say from the age of 3. How could you say at the age of 3? There's no mitzvah of Chinuch at the age of 3. Mitzvah of Chinuch starts 6 or 7. You know,
Depends on the mitzvah.
What?
Depends on the mitzvah.
No. Katan sheyodeya lenaneya. You have to have das. You know, it's very interesting because according to the Bir Halacha might say the covering a girl from 3 and up is not midin chinuch. You don't have a mitzvah of chinuch. Maybe you don't have a mitzvah until 6 or 7. But it's be'etzem and erva. So therefore you have to be zahir from 3 and up. Chazon Ish says no, it's not be'etzem and erva. And therefore there's no problem. But there is a mitzvah of chinuch. Now the Rav Shlomo Zalman says we are not noyeg to aser from 3 and up. Even Yureim are lenient. Okay, so Lamaisa, there is what to rely on, not to, if you have a kid in your house who's not your own daughter, who's over 3 and is not properly clad. But I will tell you that it's not right to bring a girl to shul into a men's section from 3 and up if her arms and knees are not covered. It's not right to other people. There is a Mishnah Berura. The Mishnah Berura says that it's you shouldn't say Dvarim Shebekdusha. There are people who are machmir, and you don't have a right to impose on other people who want to be zahir. But for a person themselves, there's what to rely on up to the age of 7. Okay, let's continue on over here. Sorry, I know it's late. Sivkatan Daled. Asr Likrois. I'm Primagam Shevi Deos Inyan Diavad Bezeh. And Sarach Lachsav Likrois Kamal Inyan Erva Gemura. The question is, what if B'diavad you did say Shema opposite Tefach Megula Be'isha? What would the halacha be? So, V'derech Chachai Mashna Dafil B'diavad Tzarech Lachsav Likros. V'derech Chachai Mashna even B'diavad you would have to repeat him. Mekamakam Nirali Dechshaloi Niskavein Lehistakel. If you were not gazing, Ein Lahachmer B'diavad Lachsav Likros Af B'isha Acheres. You would not have to be Machmer B'diavad to go back and to say the Shema by another woman. In other words, let's say there's a woman at your table and you were making Kiddush and she had Tefach Megula. And you were sort of minding your own business. You weren't gazing. So you're not allowed to read L'charchila, but Di'eved, you wouldn't have to repeat. Aval. So, okay, now the Ramah says, some say that's only Be'ishtoi. Be'ishtoi, it's Tefach Megula. But Isha Acheres, even Pachos, Ayin B'nishmas Olam Shekasav L'Koliyama, Zeloi Have Ela Midrabanan. Everyone would agree that the shita, that be'ishtay acheres, even less than a tefach as an erva, that's only midrabanan. And therefore, closing your eyes will help. V'chein b'sa'ari shamavar b'sif beis, where closing your eyes will help. But isha acheres, bein pnuya bein eishasish, whether she's single or if she's married. Okay, we'll hold it over here. We'll pick it up tomorrow. Okay, have a good day, everyone. Shkayach. Yeah, Kol Tov.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.